So, have you ever hopped onto Geometry Dash and then you played a RobTop level and immediately rage quit, thinking that the difficulty of the level's rating is not actually what it seems? Well, yeah, some of these difficulties do not make sense at all. Some of these difficulties just kinda suck overall. So that's why in this video we will be revising the level's difficulty so they just make much more sense overall. Starting off with Stereo Madness, Back on Track, and Polargeist. I feel like these three ratings don't need to change since they make enough sense. So that brings us to Dry Out. And this may sound a little controversial, but I think Dry Out should be a hard rating. Reason being is because if base after base can be the same rating, then why can't Dry Out? Also considering the fact that base after base is almost on par, if not easier, than Dry Out. Speaking of base after base, yeah, I don't think this one's gonna change. Specifically because if I make it any lower, it'll break the chain of levels getting progressively harder. And if I make it any higher, then it will just cause even more controversy. So that brings us to Can't Let Go. And I think it should be a harder. And yes, it is mostly because of the upside down part. Okay, well that's not the only reason. There's other reasons too. Number 1, it's the same difficulty scale as Jumper, which is also a harder level. Number 2, it used to be an Insane, which now got downgraded all the way down to a hard, which in my opinion, it didn't deserve to get downgraded that much. So making it harder would even it out. And these are my 2 reasons for Can't Let Go being a harder. Okay, time to move on to Jumper. Jumper's rating is reasonable considering it has the most features out of all the original 7 levels, like shorter upside down segments. By Jumper teaching you all this, I think it deserves to stay where it is. So harder it is. Oh my god, bro. Time Machine is by far my least favorite level, but I don't think I should talk about opinions too much. So instead, I thought about going over the level. So we start off with some basic gameplay with the cube. Every level starts off with that, nothing special. What I have noticed though is shorter upside down parts and oh, he's gonna get the coin, yes! But if we do skip over some parts of the level, we do see that we get introduced to the most hideous thing, the mirror portal. I don't know if mirror portal gameplay is hard for some of you, but for me, it's the ship that's hard. In mirror portal mode, this thing is so hard. No? Just me? Okay. So, as we continue on with the ship, yada yada yada, yada yada yada, we finally go back to normal here. And now that I think about it, the rest of the level is really just switching between mirror portals and going upside down and straight back and all that. And then we have the final bit of cube part, and then we end with the ship with the level, and then it goes upside down, and then we finally end the level with the upside down ship. So, was it that bad? Some could argue, but I'm having this stay as a harder rating. Cycles has some pretty easy difficulty except for those 3 spikes, but then the difficulty kind of increases by this part right here. There was no reason to put this here at all. It's just a ship going up and down, and it's just a random difficulty spike out of nowhere here in this level. But the level really gets better at this last ball part. It's just a big step up from the last one, and it has a better difficulty than the last one as well. Also, the use of fakes is nice too. Overall though, I think it should stay as a harder. And you know what? We all know X-Step should also stay as an Insane, considering these parts. Same with this entire part of Clutterfunk too. Honestly, both of these levels should stay as an Insane. Anyway, I'll end the video here. I'll rate the rest of the levels in part 2. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, see you in the next video.